close my eyes and there you are. With a million thoughts of things I should be doing, you slip into my mind so easy, baby, like the sugar in my coffee. You sweeten up my day. You lay so sweet and easy on my mind. Though you're not where I can touch you, you're always there, I find. You never let me get too far away. When you slip into my mind so easy, baby, I just close my eyes and there you are. With a million thoughts of things I should be doing, you slip into my mind so easy, baby. You slip into my mind so easy, baby. Jim Bob Wilson passed away in 1928. His wife Reba was a fiery woman child. She was 17 and a lovely dream, and everybody said she was bound to go fun crazy and run wild. Jim Bob had hardly more than gotten settled in his grave when the men folks started knocking on her door. They all had pretty flowers and some pretty words to say, but they just got a friendly smile and nothing more. Through the years she never ever gave a man a second glance, though many came and tried in vain to start a hot romance. And when they called her crazy, she smiled and told herself the ghost of Jim Bob Wilson is alive and doing well. In the latter part of 48, a wise old midwife said, the widow Wilson's growing heavy with a child. The town tongue started wagging and they laughed and shook their heads, said at long last Reba Wilson's running wild. In the early spring of 49, her fair boy child was born. Folks said her nameless son would turn out bad, but she named him Jim Bob Jr. and just laughed away their scorn. Said he'll grow up fine and straight just like his dad. For the rest of all her life she gave no man a second glance, though many came and tried in vain to start a hot romance. But she watched her fine young son grow up and smiled and told herself, the ghost of Jim Bob Wilson is alive and doing well. Followed me to Texas, you followed me to Utah, but we didn't find it there, so we moved on. Then you went with me to Alabama. Things look good in Birmingham, but we didn't find it there, so we moved on. I know you're tired of following my elusive dreams and schemes, for they're only fleeting things, my elusive dreams. You had my child in Memphis that I heard of work in Nashville, but we didn't find it there, so we moved on to a small farm in Nebraska, to a gold mine in Alaska, but we didn't find it there, so we moved on. And now we've left Alaska because there was no gold mine, but this time only two of us moved on. Now all we have is each other and a little memory that we can cling to. But still, you won't let me go on alone. I know you're tired of following my elusive dreams and schemes, for they're only fleeting things, my elusive dreams. Cozy lairs and easy chairs ain't hard to bear when the weather's cold and bad. But When the birds sing in the spring, them scenes on TV screens drive my mind mad. Punching clocks and getting docked for being late just ain't my cup of tea. So I told the boss man where to go and not to waste his breath cussing me. 'Cause my lungs are getting hungry for some air that ain't been breathed a million times. And I'd like to think that I might think some thoughts that never crossed another mind. 'Cause I'd rather be a thinker than be satisfied with what a tinker knows. And be a puppet on a string and shake with fear each time I hear the wind blow. Choking things like wedding rings and apron strings ain't never fit my style. Clinging vines and ties that bind can't blind me to the sweet call of the wild. So come the morning, woman, brew me up a jug of coffee strong and black, and I'll kiss domesticated bliss goodbye and make my final farewell tracks. But right now my lungs are hungry for some air that ain't been breathed a million times. And I'd like to think that I might think some thoughts that never crossed another mind. 'Cause I'd rather be a thinker than be satisfied with what a tinker knows. And be a puppet on a string and shake with fear each time I hear the wind blow. My mama loved my dad for 50 years, and she worked along beside him in the fields. He never gave her much, but he gave her all he had. Dad's the only reason Mama lived. My mama's face would light up like a diamond each time my daddy walked into the room. She'd stop what she was doing and put her arms around him. Dad's the only world my mama knew. Mama never saw her roses bloom that year. The angels came before the robin's song. Mama said she didn't mind going on ahead, but heaven won't be heaven till Daddy's home. When Mama left, she left Dad a lonely man, but he'd talk to Mama like she was still here. He'd talk about the hard times and the good times that they'd had, as his old mind slipped back across the years. Daddy never plowed his fields again. He'd just sit down and wait his time to come. Then one day he said, I think I hear a choir singing. He closed his eyes and went to live with Mom. Lord, I want to thank you for the years they were here for me to love. just have been there and seen my mama's face when Dad walked in. The Youngstown Tabernacle stood among some giant oak trees just outside of Youngstown in eastern Tennessee. The bells would toll each Sunday for the Youngstown folks to come. The man who made the church bells ring was Tabernacle Tom. The Youngstown people said old Tom was touched in his mind. He mowed the lawn and cleaned the church and never charged a dime. They said he was a lonely man, no friends or kin or wife, and to serve God's tabernacle was his only aim in life. But old Tabernacle Tom had a song to sing. Old Tabernacle Tom had a bell to ring. Tabernacle Tom had a job to be done. Thank God the world's been blessed with men like Tabernacle Tom. One day the news like wildfire went racing through Youngstown. They said old crazy Tom had burned the tabernacle down. So the sheriff went and got him and took him off to jail. The Youngstown Christian soldiers said old Tom was bound for hell. Sunday morning found the heavens filled with dark and churning clouds. By church time it was raining hard and the wind was howling loud. They still talk about the twister that missed Youngstown, Tennessee, and the burned out tabernacle crushed beneath the giant oak tree. But old Tabernacle Tom had a song to sing. Old Tabernacle Tom had a bell to ring. Tabernacle Tom had a job to be done. Thank God the world's been blessed with men like Tabernacle Tom. The Youngstown congregation went and got Tom out of jail. They asked him if he had a vision, but he wouldn't tell. Now if this legend has a lesson, then I'll take the stand. That each man has a purpose in the Master's master plan. Didn't old Tabernacle Tom have a song to sing? Old Tabernacle Tom had a bell to ring. Tabernacle Tom had a job to be done. Thank God the world's been blessed with men like Tabernacle Tom. Julie was the light of my soul. She came along and showed me all a woman has to show. She never made me promises of loving me always. She just made me happy while she stayed. Time and changes changed her mind one day. She went to find her world in some strange city far away. Now I stand here looking through this Appalachian rain, turning Julie over in my mind again. Something she took from me, some she left behind. by the best I can. Still I smile and thank the Lord that Julie took the time to stop and love a boy into a man. Lord, you know, she sure was good for me. And what I feel inside is more than just a memory. And if I had a gift to give to any man I know, he'd have a girl like Julie sleeping softly in his soul. Julie, I love you, honey. On my mind, and next to me, my soon-to-be, the one I left behind. And Lord, it's killing me to see her crying. She knows I'm lying here beside her, Linda on my mind. Yes, I know that I once loved her, and I placed no one above her, and I never thought I'd ever set her free. But it just wasn't in my plans, the way Linda squeezed my hand the first time I held her close as she danced with me. She said, I've loved you for a long time, but you're married to a friend of mine, and I've tried hard to never let it show. But my love for you is stronger, I can't hide it any longer. And so I thought I'd better let you know that I'm lying here with Linda on my mind, and next to me, my soon-to-be, the one I left behind. And Lord, it's killing me to see her crying. She knows I'm lying here beside her, with Linda on my mind. Put his arms around her shoulder, and with a voice that sounded older, he said, Mom, I got something on my mind. Now I don't want to bother you, but I sure need to talk to you. If you could only spare the time. And Mama, I hope you understand how much I love and need you, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way. But don't you think I'm big enough and old enough and strong enough to play the games that daddies play? My friend Billy Parker's dad came by today to see me, and he wondered if I'd like to go with him and Billy on a hike and maybe camp out overnight, the way I've seen them do in picture shows. And there's one thing I want to do, and maybe if I ask him to, he'd sit and talk to me man to man. We'd only be gone overnight, and I could find out what it's like to play the games that daddies play. She quickly turned to hide the tears from her son of 7 years. He didn't know she'd read between the lines. He'd never really known his dad, and although he'd never asked, she knew exactly what was on his mind. She searched her mind in desperation. 6 long years of separation dimmed the words she knew she had to say. I hope you're never big enough or old enough or bold enough to play the games that daddies play. I know you need and want his love, but son, you're the victim of another kind of game that daddies play. Mama, your long-lost son is hungry. Why, I'm even wearing paper in my shoes. And I almost went to church this past Sunday, 'cause that's always been good for the blues. And Mama, if there's any way, please help me. 'Cause you know that all my pride is gone. Just a letter to tell the boys here with me that even a wino has a home. Mama, I've been so long in writing, but I thought I could make it all on my own. And before long, I was sleeping in the gutter, and Dad was gone. Mama, I just don't know what happened, but the wine just started soaking in my bones. But you know, Mama, I really think that I could shake it. If you tell me that